Make me live. There we go. Oh my goodness, we're live. Welcome to Augment Your Week. I'm so excited to be with you on a Monday morning. What an amazing weekend. Lots of fun things happening with clients, and also had family here Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Some of the girls came on Wednesday to celebrate two birthdays. So we've had friends here, and before that, good friends Matt and Christy Engstrom came on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. We got to spend some time out on the lake, and Matt got to do a little surfing. And what a fun week! It's so good to have my strength back. Still can't do any surfing. They tell me if I bump something, I'll bleed right now with the medication they have me on. But everything is going really, really well. So thanks for everybody's prayers and concerns and well wishes. It's been really wonderful. Thank you. Pondering today, what could we talk about that would be really important for us to explore? And I want to take you into a personal thing that just transpired this last week. We have 27 grandchildren and 7 married children. That's 43 people. Now, when we bought this cabin 12 years ago, we had a condo just up the street. It was 1,800 square feet, and we had 13 grandkids at the time. And we had some of them sleeping in bathtubs on foam mats. If you can imagine, just to accommodate. So we decided we needed something bigger. So we got this, and we took a family picture that summer on the front porch with 13 grandkids. We just took one this last summer with all 27 grandchildren, and one of them is married. So you can imagine just the size of the group. Now we have 7 bedrooms and 7 baths. And this isn't about the cabin. I just want to share with you a principle. And when they're all here, it feels a little bit like the condo used to feel. With 6 masters and a bunk room, and up in the loft there are a couple of beds. Still, there's like people everywhere sleeping. And it's time for us to consider getting a place that's just a little bigger. Now, that sounds kind of silly, but that's the consideration. Well, to be able to do that, it's very wise that we first sell this one. Now, we love this cabin. There are so many wonderful memories. It was a miracle how this came into our lives 12 years ago at exactly the right moment, exactly the way it needed to. We don't want to discount that at all, but we're ready for some new memories. And we hired our good friend, Mark Hislop, who runs Valley View Real Estate here in Garden City, Bear Lake. And he came in and said, "Dave, we got to do something." And I said, "What's that?" And he said, we need to clean up some of the stuff. Now, in 12 years, if you know Ramona, my sweetheart, if you went and opened up the drawers in my bedroom, in our master closet, you'd see all of my clothes perfectly folded. There's not a drawer in this house that doesn't have everything exactly the way it needs to be. Now, she's not obsessive compulsive. She just loves things to be organized. That's just how she does things here and at home and in her life. She was gracious enough for the last 12 years to allow me to do a lot of the decorating. Now, this is a cabin, right? Cabins need taxidermy, right? So you walk in the living room and there's a moose that I picked very carefully, 65-inch wingspan, span on its antlers, a 7-point elk. There's a record caribou. There's a beautiful full-body cougar mount. That was just the beginning. Then you go up in the loft and there's a grizzly bear, a full-blown grizzly bear getting ready to take a swipe out of a gigantic pink salmon. And then a black bear from Idaho. That wasn't all. I was joking last night with our realtor. We were sending texts back and forth, and I said, I said to Ramona once, we have a 4x4 square available in the living room on the log wall. Should we get a mouse skin? And he shot back, actually, there wasn't a 4x4 square left. You wouldn't have been able to do it. And I said, yep, case in point. So he had to start cleaning stuff out. And our message today is about decluttering your life. And I got to experience this firsthand. We began to declutter a week ago. I mean, I'm talking about 5 fox skins, a bobcat, a badger, a mink, a beaver, 3 Indian rugs. One's a beautiful Navajo rug off the rails, and a big grizzly bear draped over the railing. I mean, this massive grizzly bear from Alaska. And I thought, okay, I've done my part. Then somebody came and saw the house Saturday while we were out on the lake, and his first reaction was, you got to clean out a lot more. And I was rebellious. How many of us, when we think about decluttering our life, we're attached to everything? How can I let that out of my life? And some of us might say, I used that 3 years ago, or if I ever need it, right? Anybody had this moment in their life? Their garage, maybe, their closets. How many of us have got stuff in there that we haven't touched? Just an aside, I remember one time coming home and looking for a pair of shoes, deerskin shoes, are really soft, and they were not in my closet. And I said to Ramona, sweetheart, where are my deerskin shoes? And she says, oh, somebody came by getting shoes for Africa. And I gave them your shoes. And I said, I love those shoes. She says, you haven't worn them in 6 months. That's kind of the rule of thumb in our house. If we haven't used it for 6 months, why is it here? Well, the cabin was the exception. So we started thinking through this a little deeper. 2 more bear skins, 3 more bear rugs, a full body bear mount, a wolf mount, an antelope mount, a rocking chair, and a Marion Russell bronze. We've got all of this stuff sitting on our counter in the kitchen. This 13-foot long counter has all these things stacked on it. We're going to take them home. I don't know what we're going to do with them. But here's the point. This morning I was sitting in the living room, and there was a caribou and an elk and a moose and a cougar, but that was it. The rest of the walls were clear. There was actually more room for all the furniture to be just kind of loosened up a little bit. And it just made the room feel so much larger. Then you go upstairs into the loft where we have our TV space. And we took several taxidermies off the wall, reorganized the furniture, and all of a sudden it's big and spacious and really freeing. Then we went downstairs and did the same thing in the family room, in the game room downstairs. I had to this morning just walk those rooms and just feel what it felt like to be decluttered, to have space to breathe. I'm going to encourage all of us today, physically, this week, just walk around your house, open up those closets, and just say, how is this impacting my ability to be present and focused with clear goals and vision with these tethers holding me back? Paul talks about velocity for an aircraft, even to take off, and the drag on that vehicle. We had unnecessary drag here at the cabin because of these physical things that were just everywhere. Now it looked like a cabin, but now it looks like a home with some really nice touches, but not too much. How about your home? If you went into your living room and just said, we keep thinking, oh, I need new furniture, I need this, I need that. Maybe we just need less of what we have. What would happen if we cleaned it out and maybe made some of that available to a thrift store, to someone who doesn't have anything, and cleaned out family rooms, living rooms, kitchens, kitchen drawers, garages? How many of us have so much stuff in our garage, we can't even put a car in the garage? What would happen if we went through and said, if we haven't used this for 6 months or maybe a year, why do we even have it? And we just start getting rid of stuff. I believe, as I could feel it this morning, that the decluttering of this space really helped me get clearer in my own mind. Could that be possible for you? Is that something I uniquely experienced this morning? Or is that something that you could experience as well? So take a look at your physical surroundings. I know that in our home, uh, we don't go to bed till the kitchen's spotless. That's just how it is. May sound obsessive, but you sleep better when everything is cleaned up and you start the day to a clean house. You've heard cleanliness is next to godliness. I don't want to offend anybody by that. But just take a look and say, do my surroundings reflect the kind of person I want to be? Available, not burdened, not being drugged down by my physical environment. Now, in your Habit Finder assessment, in the area called My Joy, you want to go to the 5th measurement and see if it's drifting over to the left. That's your Habit Finder. If you haven't taken a Habit Finder, go to habitfinder.com and just take your assessment. It's free. You get the whole thing. Matter of fact, you can set up a 20-minute consult with one of the members of our Habit Finder team for free. We want you to know where you are so that you can make decisions about what might be holding you back from getting to where you want to be. So make sure you do that and go to My Joy. It's the 2nd section, 5th measurement down. See if it's over in the area of enabling, because that specific measurement will reflect whether or not it's starting to actually impact our thought processes in a negative way, where we're allowing physical surroundings to pull us down. We're enabling a lack of productivity because of. And sometimes when we get ready to do something, we actually go, well, I need to get this cleaned up, or I need to get that cleaned up. And they become excuses for us not being productive in our work or profession or our business. So how about if we make this the week of declutter our life physically? The 2nd declutter, and that's our mind. We have habits of thinking. All of us do. Dr. Hartman, who did the mathematics for the assessment, only found one person in all of his career with a perfectly balanced assessment. One. It's a pig farmer in Iowa who just loved his life. Everything was wonderful. Almost all of us have habits of thinking that are out of balance. Things that have happened to us as a child, maybe unmet expectations, maybe some traumatic things have happened financially, relationship-wise. We haven't learned how to use gifting like vivid visualization, so we spend time in fantasy and catastrophe. As a result, we hate our life because it's not stacking up to the way we would like it to be. It's not happening fast enough. We're running around with a chicken with our head cut off, trying to figure out how to make it happen. We're disillusioned because every time we build one piece of the bridge between here and where we want to be, 2 of them fall off. Can you feel it? So we start to question our own worth and our ability and our character and the contribution, the value of our contribution, which robs us and everyone else around us of us showing up and getting inspired ideas and acting on them and living in our natural genius, taking action. Can you hear all of that baggage that we drag through the day? It's not us. We're trying to move forward. It's holding us back. Say that one more time. We're trying to move forward. It is holding us back. Would it not make sense that we go through a process of decluttering our mind? Let's begin that journey. You know, if you don't have a copy of the SHIFT program, when you talk to someone about your assessment, Bobby, Brandon, one of the members of the team, ask them about SHIFT, because SHIFT walks you through all 6 areas of your assessment and helps you start retraining those habits of thinking that have been a burden so they can serve you. And then there's a section in there that we just put in a few weeks ago called Dream Creation, which is an 8-module set, a course, to walk you through step by step by step in creating your dreams. Then Paul did one called Sales 101 to help you appreciate the value of selling. All of that. I usually don't do any promoting at all on OgMent, but this is just too important. It's $497, and you buy it for 3 payments of $180 over 3 months. We'll finance it for you. We just want you to get the material to begin decluttering your mind. And it's the least expensive, most valuable, comprehensive program we have ever created. And we just want everybody to get a copy of Shift. So check that out. Go to your assessment, talk to your Habit Finder consultant, and perhaps our producer could put up a link for even just checking out the Shift. There's a whole, you can go log on this link and find out everything you need to know about Shift. So if we could have her put that up, that would be great. So we'll get that up. There it is. habitfinder.com Shift one-time offer. You watch the videos, answer your questions, explore the possibilities, see if it will serve you. So it's time. It is time to declutter our physical environment. I want everybody to feel what I felt this morning at 5:15, sitting in our living room here at the cabin and just breathing. I had no idea that all of those things, and I was attached to them. Each one of those has a story behind them, where I found them or whatever the case may be. They all have a story. And I just love them. And I was so attached to them. And I was so grateful to be detached from them and decluttered so that we can breathe. I'm going to enjoy breaks in between coaching sessions today because I think I'm just going to walk around, just feel what this feels like. And just as a reminder to make sure that every part of my life physically is decluttered. Another area of our life physically to declutter is our own health, making sure that we're working on being optimally healthy to get our body weight down and our muscle strength up so that we can live long and healthy lives. And then, of course, your mind. It's probably one of the greatest burdens. And sometimes our physical surroundings reflect our mind. There's often a correlation between the clutter in our life and the clutter in our mind. What do you think? Think this might be a good idea? To declutter our physical, declutter our physicality, declutter our mind. And see if we can't, when we come back next Monday, just feel like I'm feeling this morning, that we sacrifice some things we've been really attached to. That lava lamp we've had for so many years, it just occupies space, whatever it might be. Let's get this thing cleaned up so that we can have clarity and energy and insight to move forward in our lives. Now, a little spoiler alert. I sent a message to a dear friend, Brandon Sulzer, this weekend. Brandon, our family's been reading his book. Brandon's quadriplegic. We've known him since he was a teenager when this happened to him. And he's had several near-death experiences since then. Remarkable individual who wakes up every morning with tremendous nerve pain. We've invited Brandon to come on to our OgMent Your Week. So be prepared. We're going to let everybody know this week, preparation. We want to get the link to you so that you get his book on Amazon, and then you can hear him. Incredibly inspiring young man. He's about 35, I believe. Something in the neighborhood, 35 or 40, somewhere in that space. Young and just so willing to take on life and accept what is and work with what is. So inspiring. I mentioned that because I just was given a speaking engagement to the Utah Hospice Association coming up in a couple of weeks. And they wanted me to speak on how to handle difficult times. Been thinking about that. I think the next couple of sessions we're going to spend on how to get through difficult times. Let me see if I can't arm you with some specifics. Okay, get your habit finder, get your shift, get your mind cleaned up, get your house cleaned up, get your space cleaned up, your garage, and let's get ready to take on life. Okay? Blessings, everybody. Have a wonderful, wonderful day.